Oh my goodness, everybody. So it is like 6:20 or something, and I have no coffee. I forgot to go grocery shopping yesterday. I did. I forgot to go grocery shopping yesterday because I got so caught up with all this other stuff that I was doing. And it did not seem like it was that important because I'm not really out of food. I just needed a couple things. Except the problem is, one of the things that I needed was coffee. So I am having conscious coffee with a bug that flew into my house and no coffee. So I do have some awesome lemon ginger zinger tea or something that is steeping here next to me. But it is definitely one of those mornings where no coffee, and it kind of just made me think, we do this in, I'll send through the faces. Yeah, okay. There will be a coffee delivery being made later. How about that? I don't know. Yeah, I'll manifest that. Somebody will bring me coffee later. But, outside of the coffee, I was up late. I was writing and working on different things and doing just some different mindset stuff. And here's the interesting thing. So here I have this morning, no coffee, right? But I still have all these things that I need to get done. And coffee makes me feel a certain way. It makes me feel a certain way. It's not even, I don't even really need the coffee to wake up. I'm not that addicted to it, I say. Yeah, sure. So I'm not that addicted to the coffee. But it still makes me feel a certain way. So coffee makes me, I don't know, there's something about like I come down the stairs and, I smell the coffee and it's brewing or it's just gotten done by the time I get to the kitchen, and I pour it into my cup and it's just fresh and hot and smells good, and I add my half and half to it. And just the way, like holding onto the cup and the warmth from the cup and the aroma from the coffee coming up and stuff. And I just kind of get this warm, tingly, feel good sensation in my body, which I didn't have this morning. I did not get that feel good sensation in my body. Instead, I kind of got up, did my little gratitude prayer before my feet hit the ground, and came downstairs and didn't smell any coffee. And I knew last night going in that I didn't have any this morning because I always make my coffee in advance, make it the night before and just set it on auto. So it brews while I'm doing my gratitude prayer and stuff. But there was no good smelling aroma in the house as I came down the stairs this morning. And there was no warm pot of coffee miraculously sitting over there. Instead, there was an empty cup with a bag of tea sitting next to it. And so I made my cup of tea, and I've got it brewing now. But this little tale of coffee, actually, yes, it is really very much about my coffee this morning, but that's not really what it's about, obviously. What it's about is there's so many things that we consistently do in our life, or that we focus in on, and they make us feel good. They do. And maybe some of them are work, and like work, like inner work. Like I say, I do inner work. That means that I'm doing journaling. I have different journals that I use and whatever. I do meditation. Maybe it's maybe it's exercising. Maybe it's something that you do just consistently. Maybe it's going and getting a massage. Maybe it's taking, time every week to spend with your significant other and going and like having a glass of wine or a cup of coffee or whatever that communication time. Maybe it's reading, whatever those things might be. Or maybe you have a coach in your life and the coach has helped you to establish certain practices that, or maybe you've just done this on your own, certain practices. I keep wanting to yawn. It's because I don't have coffee. but establish certain practices that have built your confidence, that have, helped you really get some forward movement and be able to connect with yourself and thus to God a little bit better, or just whatever it is. And then all of a sudden one day you wake up and you just don't do the practice. You just don't have the coffee. You just don't do the eye gazing. You just don't do the meditation. You just don't exercise. You just don't, whatever it is. You feel, and you let that, get you, and then you just don't do that practice. And it's like, oh, it's just one day. It's just one day, like, it's okay. I can go one day. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to just go one day without doing that. Really want a sip of this tea, but it's so freaking hot. But so you just don't do it. You just don't do it. And it doesn't seem that big of a deal. And then the next day comes along. And because you didn't do that practice, you never really got back into that feeling that you normally get into. So here you are on day number 2, and you're like, oh, well, I just really don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like doing the journaling. I don't really have anything to journal about. I don't feel like, taking 10 minutes of just stillness time for myself. I don't even have the time for it in my day today. My muscles are still sore from the other day, and I don't feel like going to the gym. I don't feel like going to yoga. I'm just going to take the day off. Give my body some time to recover, relax, let my muscles heal. So you get another day go. And you're like, oh, it's just 2 days. It's not that big of a deal. Well, then day number 3 comes. And now you're just, you know what? You're already kind of slipped out of that beautiful, perfect groove of doing the things that make you feel good, doing the things that bring you energy, that make you feel alive, that make you feel charged up, pumped up, all these different things. And day number 3, you're looking at it and you're like, oh, well, yeah, I'll do it later today. I'll do it later today. Like, I'll get it done. I know I need to get it started and I need to do it again. I'll do it later today. So you tell yourself all day long that you're going to do it later today. Well, imagine if it was coffee. Now, if you love coffee as much as I love coffee, then you can say all day long, oh, I'm not addicted to it. And I've gone plenty of days without coffee. Except I wasn't up until like almost 2 o'clock in the morning and turned around and got up at 5:45. But not on a regular basis. No, actually, yeah, no. But if it was your morning drink, if it was that thing like coffee that you look so forward to, that you are sort of addicted to, and, it's just, you gotta have it. Would you let 3 days go by unless it was some extreme case without having your morning coffee, without having that thing that makes you feel good? Oh my goodness, there goes my dog. Hold on. Hey, puppy, stop. It's just somebody walking. Goodness. They're upset with somebody walking down the street. Sadie girl, stop. So that was like an alarm, right? Alarm. Pay attention. Alarm is. Would you let yourself go 3 days, 4 days, 5 days without having that coffee? Would you let yourself go that many days without taking in the thing that makes you feel a certain way, that thing that wakes you up to life, that thing that makes you just feel warm and cozy on the inside? Would you just let yourself not start your day in the way that just brings you like this little moment of bliss, of joy? I mean, how long would you actually go if you really truly loved coffee? How long would you actually go without that coffee? Would you completely change your mindset around it? Would you completely change over to tea? Maybe you love tea, but does tea make you feel the same way that coffee does? Does water make you feel the same way that coffee does? Does your orange juice make you feel the same way that coffee does? I mean, there's a million and one choices. There's lots of people that don't drink coffee. So you could, if you're the green juice in the morning person, then, would you go that many days without your green juice in the morning? Whatever that is that you have in the morning, would you go without it? How would that make you feel? Over like just 3 days, what would be taking place inside of you? So here's the thing. Those things that we're talking about with coffee, tea, juice, right? Those things are it's the same feeling that you should be having about doing your practices for you, about doing those practices that establish the right kind of thinking, the right kind of feeling, that connection work, that consciousness work that gets you to that place where you're just feeling good on the inside. You're just feel turned on, tapped in, charged up, vitalized, connected to source, to God, to universe, to your core, to your heart, whatever words you want to use here, fill in the blank. And how long would you accept from yourself the excuse, the procrastination of, I'll just get to it. I'll just get to it. I'm like, I'll just get to the store and buy some coffee. I'll just, maybe next week, after I get through this busy week, after I go, away for the weekend, maybe next week, maybe if I remember on Sunday, maybe I'll pop by the store on my way home and I'll pick up coffee so that I have it for Monday morning conscious coffee. But, right now, I'm going to just say, I don't need it. No. Much like coffee or anything that we consume regularly, after a certain time frame, not only does procrastination truly set in, but it also is about the fact that we get used to a new feeling. We get used to this new space that we have moved ourselves in. And in this particular moment, we're talking about taking a step backward instead of taking that step forward. Okay? So, it really is important to look and see what those things are that you're just letting yourself slide on. What are you slacking on? What are you allowing yourself to step back on that actually would move you forward, that's without you even realizing it, potentially preventing you from having the life that you want, from feeling the way that you want, from having the relationship that you want, from having the bank account that you want, from having the house that you want, the car that you want, the travel that you want, the health that you want. What are those things that you were not consistently doing, or that you've heard that you should have done, or that you have been even told that you should do, or you just keep having it appear in your life, Maybe it's some Facebook ad, and then it comes up in a movie, and then your friend tells you about it while you're, out and about with them or something, and it all comes at you in three different versions, but all basically the same message. Maybe that's what it is. However the stuff is coming to you, pay attention to that, because the thing that right here that you're supposed to be doing, that it just feels a little pressing, a little nagging to you, that you're like, yeah, that would feel really good if I did that. But, I just don't have time. I don't know where to start. How do I do that anyway? I don't really have anything to say. I have nothing to journal about. I have nothing to be grateful for. I have, I don't know really what to do. I'm not a good reader. I can't afford audiobooks. I can come up with a million and one reasons as to different excuses as to why you might think you can't get done these things. What I can tell you is that the only way to get something started and to do something is to just get started, to just do it. In that first stage, even though you might feel like, I don't know, and you might feel uncertain and scared, your confidence isn't there, you're nervous, it makes you want to throw up sometimes to take such what will appear like a simple little action that you might actually end up loving, like you love coffee. But even once you get to that, maybe you take that step and now you're doing it and you're loving. There's going to be times when you're going to hit something, and it's probably going to be something that happens that triggers you to feel or think or fall back into some old way of being. And when that happens, you've got to watch for these mornings, because here's the thing, the first 3 hours of our day is where our brain is the most open to receive change, to receive transformation, and to be able for us to actually program our own new thinking, our own new beliefs. So we are the most open and susceptible to programming the first 3 hours after we wake. If you say, oh, I'll get to it I'll get to it at 4 o'clock, I'll get to it at 5 o'clock, yeah, sure, I was going to do that at 7 o'clock, but I'll just do it tonight before I go to bed. It's not that big of a deal. Your brain is going to be in a completely different space for the work, the internal work, and the shifting at 7 a.m. as it will be to 7 p.m. If you want to actually receive the full benefits and make that impact that I hope that you want to make in your life, then you've got to catch yourself early on in the day. Think of it as breakfast, and hopefully you have been made aware of how important eating breakfast is for a healthy well-being, for your metabolism, for your thinking, for the way your whole body operates. Breakfast gets us going. It's kind of goofy, but there is the statement of breakfast, the breakfast of champions. Well, breakfast in general, it makes you a champion. Now, if you're loading up on a bunch of sugar and a bunch of shit, that's definitely not a breakfast of champions. That's not a success breakfast. Just like if you load up on like a garbage journal first thing in the morning, and you're just throwing all this negativity first thing in the morning out there, well, guess what? Then you're kind of focusing in on that on the beginning part of your day, instead of the positive stuff that you should be focusing in on. Mornings are beautiful times. That's why I do just coffee in the morning. It's like, it's mindset stuff, it's consciousness, it's connection, it's hopefully giving you like a little charge to go, oh yes, I can do that. That was a good thought. I'm going to journal on that. I'm going to think about that. I'm going to test drive that, whatever that is. You don't see me sitting here going, 6 a.m. bitch session with Kendal and just talking about how freaking negative last night was, and how this happened and how that happened, and oh my God, I'm just so not wanting the day to move forward because I've got to deal with so and so and so and so. No, I'm not doing that, because that would give me exactly what I'm bitching about. So if I start with all that trashy thinking and trashy feeling on the front side of my day, then what am I going to do? I'm going to get more of that, right? And that's not what we want to have in our lives. So don't focus on that. Bless yourself first thing in the morning by doing gratitudes, by focusing in, and by actually stepping up and giving yourself positive affirmation. So there you go. There's my thoughts on this coffeeless Wednesday morning, where, how are the things that's affecting you? What are you letting yourself not receive, not take in this morning or any morning? What habits are you forming? What habits are you potentially allowing yourself to let go of? I use this as a negative, as though it was like, like, here are the things that, don't let these positive things go. But the same can be true of different negative things that we have. Realize that within a very short period of time, it is that easy as not pouring a cup of coffee that, to break down a habit. Now, granted, you might be thinking about it all the time. And that's the funny thing you might want to realize here, is that when you take something away from yourself, when you take away that bad habit, what do? I mean, like a person who's trying to quit smoking, what do they end up thinking about all the time? When we go on diets, what do we end up thinking about all the time? Oh, you can't have any more sugar. No, we're going on a sugar-free diet. So what does that person who goes on a sugar-free diet want? Sugar. They want sugar. The smoker wants to smoke. Well, much like I'm like, damn, I wish I had coffee. Although I won't think about coffee that much, even though Addison's sending 1,000,001 coffee cups down here. Thank you. When we're doing the things on that positive work, we don't quite apply the credit to the positive that we actually give to the negative. So we can see how much we want something when we're dieting. We go, oh, I really want that. I shouldn't have it. Oh, I really want that. I shouldn't have it. But why aren't we running around going, oh, I really need to do that. That makes me feel so good. Oh, I really need to do that practice that, that I was doing. And I really need to do it. That made me feel so good. Oh, I'm having this negative thoughts come up. I'm having this negative charge in my body. I'm having this anxiety in my body. I'm having this pressure on my shoulders. It's weight on my back. That's because I didn't do my work this morning. It's because I didn't make use of those first 3 hours in my day. And we don't even think about that. We go, oh yeah, and we just focus in on the negative. Realize that right there is a program, a pattern that you have set for yourself, and that pattern is what you're addicted to, of focusing in on the negative in those moments. So the only way to let go of those negative thoughts and being so damn comfortable with the negative things that can happen, that the effects of not doing the work, the good work, the consciousness work, the feel good connective work, that if you're not thinking, oh my God, I didn't get that done. Oh my God, I didn't get that done. Like having this sense of urgency to go do the things that makes you feel good, then you're probably still teetering over to the other side of the fence and are probably still addicted to the negative thinking programs and patterns that we've all grown up with. Okay, anybody who has made this path for themselves and has this blissed out fuck yes life had to make a decision somewhere along the line to go and take themselves from one side of the fence, that addicted to negative feeling and thinking, and literally climb up and over the fence and go to the other side. And they had to force themselves in that action to go over here. And it was very uncomfortable on the other side of the fence. But then they just became addicted to that. And when that happens and you get enough addiction to doing the things that are actually good for you there, you will at some point go, oh my God, like I missed my practice. Oh my God, I didn't go to the gym today. Oh my goodness, I'm feeling all this anxiety in my day. I know why. I didn't do my 15-minute meditation today. I know why. You're going to know why. You're going to be more connected to yourself even in the moments that you didn't do the practice, and you're going to be able to get yourself back onto the path that you have made for yourself. Onto the path that you have made for yourself, not that you have just accepted for yourself. That society has told you that this is just life. Life is tough. Life is hard work. Life is difficult. There's no pain, no gain. No, like money doesn't grow on trees. Once you turn this age, oh my goodness, it's all downhill from there. Oh man, you know what? If you become a parent, well, this is what your life's like. Oh, if you've been married more than 3 years, this is what happens in your marriage. Whatever those programs are that you are buying into and accepting, those are just things that you have accepted, that you have allowed somebody else to sell to you. So in doing this kind of work and in catching yourself, what you're doing is you're creating your path for you. You are taking charge of your life. You are moving you forward. So think about that. Who do you want to dictate your life? Do you want society, your neighbors, your mother, your brother, your sister, your friend, your colleague at work to dictate what your life and what your good life is supposed to look like? Or do you actually want that to come from you? If there's anything that you want to control the way you think and the patterns that you are accepting into your life, that you are building into your life, because those are the things that change your world, that will rock your world or destroy your world. Well, I guess it could rock your world either direction, huh? It's just a matter if it's a party in the boat or if you're tipping the damn boat over and you're drowning with the sharks or getting eaten alive there. That is your choice. Typically, if you fall into the pattern of just receiving and accepting what society has fed to us as normal, as good, as this is the way life is, you're probably not going to have a fuck yes life. You're probably not going to know even how to spell the word bliss if you're really getting to average and ordinary land there. And you're just going to think that what you have is all that you were ever can have. And even though you're feeling completely unfulfilled, empty, lost, depressed, angry, and frustrated, you're not going to know how to break free of that unless you get out there and you actually figure it out. Take some advice, go find a coach, go connect with somebody, connect with your friend that is appearing to have more bliss. Change the people that are in your life. If they are all dead, nasty, negative crybabies, well then guess what you're looking like too. If you're around a whole bunch of crybabies, then that's probably what you're doing too. So if you want that blissed out life, go find some positive people. Go find some people that you have to like step up to the plate for and turn on your own light for. Put a smile on your face to your morning gratitudes. Take just 3 good deep breaths and journal your happy little ass off. Find some things to be positive about. Give yourself permission to have the life that you want. Okay, Addison, I dropped off my morning habits for a few days a while back, and I could feel the drain. Inner work is where it's at. Absolutely. Thank you, Addison, for sharing that. And yes, I mean, it is. The whole point that I want you definitely to realize here is that we all drop sometimes, okay? We all miss class sometimes. We all drop the habit, don't have coffee sometimes in the morning. But it is being able to pick up those habits quickly that help us stay full, that help us stay connected and keep moving on the path that we want for ourselves. So thank you guys. Thank you for being here, this Conscious Coffee. And I will be back tomorrow morning around 6 a.m.-ish with another Conscious Coffee on I have no idea what, because as you guys know, these are just very random moments. Probably why I feel so drained and physically sick. Yeah, April, oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, girl, that's exactly probably it. I would say jump in like right now, as soon as you possibly can. Grab a pad of paper, grab something, and write some I ams. I am full. I am loved. I feel fantastic. I feel strong. I feel alive. I feel on purpose. Do those kinds of statements just to like really command into your life the things that you are needing and wanting. Remember in the journaling process when we go, I want, that we are coming at it from a place of not having, and therefore we keep it pushed away. When we make I am command statements, we are doing it from a place of here and now, and we are opening up and receiving it. Okay, so we are opening up and receiving it. Thank you, Addison. I was just going to go into that. She knows me so well. Yeah, and April, if you're interested, check out the Feel Good Now course that I have online. It is, and anybody else who is kind of wondering, why am I feeling this way? Maybe that's the reason why I'm feeling this way or that way, or things aren't quite working out the way I want here or there. In my Feel Good Now course, I give a whole bunch of journal prompts, and there's meditation in there, a whole bunch of video training, and I go through a whole bunch of stuff, but more in depth, and really teach you how to create these habits, and some of the most powerful habits that you can definitely get into, so that it doesn't have to take up 3 hours of your day. Okay, it doesn't. You can get in a whole bunch of activity in quite literally about 30 minutes of your day, and there's different things, or even less. I mean, I would say just like people start with just like 5 minutes, and just doing certain reframing of things for just 5 minutes, and you build on that. And what you're going to do is you're going to just have some phenomenal fuck yes results. So thank you, Addison, for posting that. Love you all, and I will catch you guys tomorrow around 6 a.m. ish for another Conscious Coffee. Go have an absolutely incredible day, and remember, stop existing and start living. Bye, guys.